what's poppin'? So, quick video, quick mention. If you watch my previous videos talking about these forever cars and the new modern cars are trash, I want to talk about something that I don't really see people talking about on the internet, and that's that you need to always have a spare car. That fucking glare. Anyways, always you need to have a spare car, for the simple reason is you never know what's gonna happen. And due to the fact of you not never knowing what's gonna happen, you turn an emergency into an inconvenience. So forever cars, having a spare car, I'm gonna give you guys a rundown on how I do it, right? So a lot of you guys are interested in buying these forever cars. Bear with me, you know I'm new to making videos. I gotta pay attention to the road. I gotta make sure I don't fucking hit nobody. And, you know, I stutter on these videos. I get a little bit nervous. So, bear with me. Anyways, so my rundown is, this is how I do it, right? I got two reliable beaters with the heaters. What are these cars? They're, in my case, I prefer Toyotas. They don't break down. They save gas. They're gas savers. You can find their parts everywhere. There's millions of them, and it comes with the Playboy. I call it the Playboy package. They have power windows, air conditioning, heater. One of them has a sunroof. If you watched yesterday's video, that one has a sunroof. All your basic necessities, right? But think about older cars, and the reason I choose Toyota is just because, you know, a lot of the times there's like a stigma with older cars, and people get more modern cars because they don't want to have to deal with old car problems, right? That's how people think. Where, I got an old car, so therefore I'm going to have more car trouble, or it's more expensive to repair a vehicle that's older. And I'm here to say that's not true. It only becomes expensive when you don't maintain your vehicles. That's the only, like, outside of that, you know, if your transmission fails, your engine, or you have an engine failure, outside of that scope, maintenance on older vehicles is, if you do your basic oil changes, your fluids, brake pads, you check your oils, your cars are gonna run for a while. But what's the reason why you need to have a spare car, right? I usually have a minimum of two at a time, 2 to 4 cars. And you might be thinking, what the fuck does a gorilla like you need 2 fucking cars, 2-3 cars at a time, right? I got my weekend car, which is one. My old school, if you've seen a few videos, I drive around in a classic car. That one is cool to have. You want to protect your purchasing power. You want to buy a classic car. That's a good way to park your money, right? Low maintenance. It's got a Chevy 350 transmission, turbo 350, and a lot of these parts you can even 3D print a lot of these parts on these older vehicles. Anyways, then I have my, like I said, my daily drivers. The reason is you don't want to wake up one day and your battery dies, you left your headlights on, you wake up and you got a flat, you get in a car accident, it doesn't matter. Life happens, shit happens, and I like to say this, I like to turn my emergencies into inconveniences. It gives you a peace of mind where, okay, now I'm just gonna think through what I'm gonna do based on this situation when car trouble arises, right? Mechanical car trouble. And that's the whole point of not having to go, I've met people where their car breaks down or their car takes a shit, and they don't have a spare car. They have a reliable car, right? Like, I'll give you guys an example. Toyota. What's the fucking point of having a reliable Toyota or just even if it's a brand new car, the shit breaks down and you got nowhere, you don't have no wheels. So that's the main purpose of having an extra vehicle. You don't have to spend thousands of dollars on an extra. I spent cumulatively, I own 4 vehicles right now, and I don't think I spent more than $5,000 on these 4 vehicles. You got my van. You see me in my van. My 2 Toyotas and my classic car. So it's around $6,500, and I got 4 vehicles. You know, this is my work vehicle, but then I got another work vehicle. But the point I'm trying to make is that you want to be able to diversify on the way on when it comes to your transportation, because especially me, you know, I'm out here in the city. You know, look, check it out. Look at my view. I'm actually in front of the Chinese consulate right now. We're in Japantown. This is the Japanese neighborhood. Anyways, so you want to be able to diversify your options when it comes to transportation. And like I said, I'm in the city. I don't like to take public transportation out here, even though our public transportation, I've been through maybe like 10 states. I've traveled all over this country. And the public transportation out here is really, really good. It's cheap. It's affordable. It's cheap. I'm not going to lie on that. Anywhere in the city you want to get to, transportation is legit out here. But with that being said, you know, there's positives and negatives when dealing with transportation out here, whether it's your personal or just in general, right? You know, like the homeless, you know, you got a lot of drunkies, drug addicts, and that's why I kind of like to have a spare vehicle. Another one, maybe this has nothing to do with you, but out here in the city, you know, I have a compact car too, a smaller, really compact car. Parking's real terrible out here. You know, you'll find parking, but your car won't fit because, you know, it's just super congested out here. And that's another perk why I have another spare car. If I know I gotta go head downtown and I gotta park somewhere, either on the street or private parking, that's another one. I can just take my little car. I don't have to take this big ass shit, big ass van, and I'm good. Anyways, buy yourself an extra vehicle. Get yourself an extra car. You know, relieve yourself from headaches. Relieve yourself from these fucking car notes. Bring some control in your life. Bring some freedom in your life. It's one of the ways how you become free. You know, my car takes a shit. One of my cars, if their engine goes out, either I could buy a new engine, replace it myself, or just like I said in my previous video, go get another $1,000 fucking piece of shit, and therefore you don't have to be a slave to these car notes and payments, and you don't have to worry about, oh shit. And you know, a lot of people, especially the younger ones, they want to get into these older vehicles, and they're afraid, you know, when you're younger, you might your car breaking down, your alternator, something simple like that, can really turn your life upside down, if that makes sense, especially if you got a long commute. So get yourself another $1,000 car. Who gives a fuck if it looks like shit? And I'll finish it off like this. People are, you know, super materialistic when it comes with these vehicles. I don't give a fuck. You know, and you know, especially, man, you know, we want to drive something nice because, you know, we want to impress the ladies and that. And I'll finish it off with this: if you can't get a lady either without a car or just driving a hunk. I'm that guy. I've been that guy. where I'm driving around with a fucking car. I kid you not, and my homies can verify this. Fucking side swipe, crashed. Fender's a different color, and it's not a big issue, at least to me. I don't give a fuck. See, look, check this out. I drive this fucking piece of shit van. I would drive that shit. Most of y'all would be embarrassed to drive some shit like that. Y'all rather have a car now. Not me. I'd rather have two piece of shit cars and know I'm a sovereign individual than one nice vehicle. And yeah, I gotta keep paying and having that shit stuck in the back of my head like, fuck, I gotta go to work. Anyways, that's it for today's video. Stay tuned, and I'm gone. Peace.